What's up, everyone, and welcome back to another Slab Stock Sundays episode here on the PWCC Weekly Auction with myself, Aaron, and Slab Stock's Julian back in the house. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Hope you all had a great holiday weekend as it wraps up tonight on Sunday. Julian, do you have a good weekend?
I did. It was a nice Thanksgiving, spending time with family, getting the rare days off of school here at Wisconsin because that's the only break we get in the fall. So it's been nice and relaxing, watching some sports, not having too much schoolwork to do. So it's been great. How was Thanksgiving in the Nowak or in the Slab household?
It was good. It was good. Thanksgiving was a nice day. Nice day off between museum baseball release day, Black Friday on Friday, which we did like a 10+ hour stream, which Julian decided to skip. He said he didn't want to rip sports cards. He doesn't like opening packs, actually.
That was the only downside, that I wasn't able to rip packs.
Yeah, no, but it was good. Yeah, Thursday was a really nice day. And then honestly, yesterday, the college football games were unbelievable. The amount of one-score rivalry games on the weekend, obviously, when they put all the biggest rivals together, was awesome. There were so many good games, and that was a really fun time to watch. So, excited to be back here for another episode, another Sunday. We're on episode number 97. We are approaching episode 100. Might need to do something a little special in episode 100, so be sure to watch out for that. Not next weekend, not the weekend after that, but the weekend after that will be episode 100. And welcome, DJ Quicksilver, and anyone joining the show tonight. Hope everyone has had a great Thanksgiving.
Aaron, do you know what I'm thankful for?
What?
I'm thankful that you can't guess the giveaway person.
You're gonna jinx yourself. I can't wait for the end of tonight's episode. I'm gonna pick that.
It's not gonna happen before 100.
Pick that person. I got 3 more episodes. I think. Are we giving myself through episode 100? I think I need to get.
Yeah.
I get 100.
It doesn't matter, but like, yeah,
it doesn't matter. Yeah, but we're back tonight, obviously, with another weekly auction, live watch party, as we see which cards end tonight and which cards maybe end for some deals, which cards maybe end for a ton, like this Chet Holmgren Contenders Cracked Ice Auto PSA 10 is at nearly $20,000 post buyer's premium. There's no doubt that Chet Holmgren has been really good this season. But anytime that much money is thrown around a player who won, I guess you could almost call it injury prone, just from the standpoint he missed his entire rookie season. I know he hasn't gotten hurt like multiple times yet, but it's just scary, when he's 7-1 and gets hurt really early on in his career. And 2, on a hot streak right now, so his cards have been super hot. Any sort of coolness in his game might lead to some drops, but he did score 33 points on 5-11 3-point shooting last night against the 76ers. So it's probably could not have been a better time for this to end. I don't know if Embiid was his primary defender, but it wasn't against the 76ers, who everyone was like, oh, wait for him to play Embiid on the Sixers and see what happens. 33 points.
That's pretty shocking, honestly.
Oh, look at Jerry. I got a big supporter.
You got Jerry in the corner.
Jerry said Aaron's going to hit it well before the 100 mark. Well, if it's well before, it better be tonight, because we're only like 4 episodes away from the 100th episode. So, excited to see that if I can do it, but I'm not. I wouldn't bet on myself. Let's just call it that if I haven't done it 96 episodes. So,
yeah.
All right. Well, before we jump in, if anyone has any cards that they're selling tonight, please feel free to drop it into the comment section. We'll be sure to highlight maybe a card or two that you have going. But tonight we are going to be looking at tons of different cards on this weekly auction. There's a ton of amazing stuff ending. Everything from Mike Trout 1 of 1. They call this atomic, but this is really, a speckle refractor as referred to today. 1 of 1 from Bowman's Best back in 2011. I actually think that was an insert in a Bowman set. To Joe Burrow SSP Retail Blue PSA 10s from Prism. T-Law Flawless Patch Autographs. One of Julian's favorite cards in the entire auction, the triple 1 of 1 laundry tag of LaMelo Edwards and Tyrese Halliburton.
You're going to give me one early.
I know. We're only like 5 minutes in and are going to set you off here. But, so
we got to follow that up as well. There's a very nice Bailey Zappi Contenders ticket auto.
Julian, why don't you recap for everyone what's happening with the Patriots this year once again?
Yeah, so for the 4th time this season, Mac Jones was yanked during the game against the Giants, which finished 10-7, very underwhelming.
And then what's the Giants with not Tommy DeVito or Danny DeVito? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, so he got yanked for Bailey Zappi once again. Actually, right before this, I saw an Instagram post where whoever's running the Twitter for the Patriots just has copied and pasted the same thing 4 times, where it just says Bailey Zappi going in as starter, which is hilarious. But yeah, it's kind of happened so much now that it's a regular thing. But Bailey Zappi went in, then Bill Belichick was asked about it after the game and never gave any definitive answer about whether it was performance related or if Mac Jones is a starter going forward. So things are not great for the Patriots.
All I gotta say to that is, one, I have to assume at this point the amount of Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi cards I've sold in the last 2 years have lost a lot more money for people than they've gained. For both of them too. Normally you get kind of like, oh, one guy might succeed, one guy might fail. I feel like both of them have just been, kind of in the tank. And then I would be utterly shocked if the Patriots don't use their pick and go quarterback and just move on from both of them. I mean, they're not doing anything this year. They're like the worst team, one of the worst teams in the NFL. I'd be shocked if they don't draft a quarterback 2 years after, or 3 years after Mac Jones was picked, which I think would be the nail in the coffin for Mac Jones cards, which at one point obviously were a ton of money. But you even look in immaculate autograph from 2022 collegiate. Well, it's not a great set. It's a $14 card now. Like $15 can get you a Mac Jones autograph.
That's crazy.
$40 can get you a rookie autograph from 2021 in a Patriots jersey. Like, talking cards at one point are multi-$100. Flawless 2021 autograph, $200. Well, I think that's still too much. I mean, that was definitely like $1,000 card at some point.
Yeah. Real Music saying, I remember Mac Jones' Donruss rated rookie was over $1,000 PSA 10.
Wasn't just over $1,000. I'm pretty sure it touched like $3K for like a Donruss PSA 10. That was like right after PSA like suspended their services, and then that first football set released. People were like grading them in that super fast service for a ton of money. It's like a pop 20, sold for like what was like $2 to $3 and then it just tanked. And now it's, I mean, I'll look right now. It can't be more than a $5 PSA 10. It just can't be. Let me see.
Let's get the math out on that. The drop in percent.
Oh my! Well, we're talking like 99%. It's actually a $15. It's a $15 PSA 10.
Oh,
someone tell me why this is not $5, but
because it's a legendary card.
There's 4,000 PSA 10s almost 3,700. All right, moving to the other side of NFL, Devonta Smith had some massive catches for the Eagles tonight. Eagles beat the Bills in overtime. Fun fact: Josh Allen has never won a game in overtime. He's never won an overtime game. He's lost now 6. He's 0-6, and 2 of those were in the playoffs, I believe. At least I think it was 0-5 before tonight. So it was a tough break from him. He actually played really well. They couldn't win it. All right. Julian, anything else to add before we kind of jump in and do some things here?
I got to say that's unfortunate for Josh Allen. So basically, Bills fans, if you ever go to OT, just turn off the
TV. Just turn off the TV. Well, yeah, I mean, they had multiple shots to win that game, and it did not. I don't know if you saw it. Jake Elliott hit a 60-yard field goal. You saw that field goal?
I did see that. And, I mean, I didn't pick up right away, but apparently the conditions were real bad. And it, swerved a bunch and went in, so even more impressive. I saw him coming out, and I texted Aaron about this. And I was like, I'd rather just go for it because 60 yards is near impossible, or at least I thought. But swaggy, he's swaggy.
Well, it's not even just 60 yards. Yeah, it's in the conditions. That's nearly impossible. Which is crazy.
Good call by Sirianni. So,
gosh, I can't stand that guy in the Eagles. Though I really wanted them to lose, but I also won my fantasy game because of how the game ended. So I'll take it.
Yeah, fantasy takes priority.
Yeah, if it's not a rival team, it takes priority. If it is a rival team, or hinges on your team making the playoffs. Speaking of, I can't jump into the main stuff from tonight's episode without mentioning massive Packers win on Thanksgiving. Beat the 8-2 Lions in Detroit. No one was expecting it. Not even the freaking Fox Sports people were expecting that because they even have their turkey leg ready for Jordan Love. I don't know if did you hear the rumor of why Jordan Love didn't get the turkey leg? You know, all the best players get the turkey leg after the game.
Yeah, he wasn't invited?
No, no, he was down on the field. Aaron Andrews was like, sorry, we don't have the turkey for you. Supposedly, they already branded the Lions on the side of the turkey as if they won the game. That's the rumor. I don't know if it's true or not. That's the rumor.
They did it well in advance. There's no shot the Packers are gonna.
Yeah. So they didn't have, because that's their claim to fame on Fox is having the turkey after the game.
Yeah.
And they didn't have it. So all the Packers fans are all over Fox Sports the last few days.
Wait, so there wasn't a turkey at all?
There was no turkey at all.
Oh, I thought you meant. Oh, geez, that's
No, like literally they had no turkey. They're like, "Yeah, we have no turkey for you, Jordan Love." I'm like, "What are you talking about? Like, that's like the
okay.
biggest
Yeah,
thing."
then that something sus definitely happened. There's no way they forgot the turkey.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that you had all week to prepare for that. So, but no, oh my gosh, he was awesome. This is not 2 straight weeks where he's been awesome. The Lions were, really highly ranked team this year. A lot of people actually were calling them a potential Super Bowl contender. Although I definitely put the Niners, Eagles, and even the Cowboys above them in the NFC. I put the the Cowboys above them. Cowboys haven't really been anyone good yet.
I'm just thinking from a playoff perspective. Cowboys hit the playoffs. Oh, they're just done.
Okay, now that's fair. But yeah, I mean that's fair. I guess
Yeah,
you're saying
no,
like
talking right now in terms of like how teams have been playing in the regular season, definitely above. But in terms of Super Bowl playoffs, Cowboys are gonna have a
let's
stinker.
be honest, we don't even know enough about the Lions in the playoffs. It's only made like once in the last 30 years. So
Yeah.
yeah, but the moral of the story is that I'm very excited about Jordan Love as I have been for the last few weeks. And I've always said let's just give him a little bit of time and see what happens. Can't wait for next week's game against the Chiefs, who did not look very good against the Raiders today. And then secondly I was really ready to like buy a Jordan Love card before that game. I didn't pull the trigger. I didn't really know what I wanted. I couldn't really find something I wanted. And then, I don't think I'm going to be able to get a Jordan Love now until the offseason because I hate to say it. I'm not trying to be a delusional fan, but the Seahawks at 6-5 with a really hard schedule and the Vikings, who I think are trending down right now, we might have the best odds to snag one of those last two wild cards of either of those three teams. So our schedule's pretty easy the rest of the season. Julian, look at the schedule. Schedule's pretty easy.
I will not allow any slander to the pastronaut.
Okay, well, I like Joshua Dobbs, but at the same time, I hate the Vikings. So Josh Dobbs is cool, which kind of pains me he's on the Vikings. But yeah, so I'm just excited. I actually think we're going from what people were calling, maybe a top 5 NFL draft pick to now possibly the best odds at getting one of those wild card spots. So I'm excited. But let's start it off. Let's start off right now with our searching for end of year sports card deals. You'll be looking at different cards on tonight's auction. I want to pose some questions to Julian and you yourself in the audience. I gotta say what's up to Real Music. I know we call it your comment, but I forgot to say hi to you. Brock Purdy, Contenders autograph PSA 10. These are sticker autos, which is kind of a big turnoff for me. Contenders are generally on-card autos for all the best rookies, but they weren't expecting to be one of the best rookies. He is last pick in the draft, so we don't have on-card autographs for Brock Purdy. But do you think that like today, end of 2023 right now, or getting towards the end, is buying this card today a good idea for holding into, let's say, through 2024 into the end of 2024? That's kind of how we're phrasing this, right? You're buying these today, maybe to hold for a year. Does it make sense to buy Brock Purdy today? Or are you kind of like Niners way too hot, maybe not the right time? But or he wins the Super Bowl with the Niners, and I definitely think this is higher than it is today.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I think that we'll make it to the Super Bowl, but it's tough because of how hot they are, and I mean, it's like not too crazy of a card, so it's one of those things where like he could play well, and I don't know, some people might not want this card like going forward, like with other releases and other high end cards, but I would say Brock Purdy, I think, is a good investment considering how well he's been playing, and he's been pretty consistent.
Oh,
Now,
and then last week almost lost me a fantasy game on Thanksgiving. A trade for me stinks.
yeah,
That's me. That's me cursing him.
but outside of like this card, I would say Brock Purdy is a pickup for 2024. But I don't know if this card specifically would be the one I'd recommend buying.
Right. And like normally I'd say Contenders football, that's the way to go. The sticker autograph's a different story here because you do have National Treasures autographs that are on card. You do have flawless autographs that are on card. So I think that this is a little bit different. So I understand what Julian's saying. Let us know in the comments. Do you think buying a Brock Purdy autograph Contenders PSA 10 today would pay off come the end of 2024?
Yeah, and I'd also throw in that the ceiling is a lot closer than the floor. So like even if he has like a little bit of like bad games going forward or like next season, like that price can jump down quite a bit.
Yeah. And I think we already saw that, he had 2 rocky games and like his market is very fragile, I'd say, because of like the success he's had earlier in his career that hasn't been winning a Super Bowl, like getting all those regular season wins, having some nice stats. But I think still the people are kind of like, well, I need to see that he can make it to the Super Bowl, or I need to see that he does this for 2 to 3 years before really plunking down 1 to 2K, right? So I agree with you. Next one up here, and I'll actually lead this one off. Then you can give your opinions, and then anyone in the audience, feel free to throw in your opinion too, as we go. So Damian Lillard, 2012 Prism Silver rookie PSA 10. This is obviously one of his very best rookie cards. The first year release of 2012, or a Prism in general. I will never forget ripping these packs after school in 8th grade. Going with my mom to grab like $3 Prism retail packs, pulling green Prisms. It was the only parallel in retail. Silvers were in hobby, and then golds were in hobby. And I love this card. It's an awesome card. But I want to talk Bucks for a second because Julian's texting me. He's like, "Hey, what's up with the Bucks?" And I agree. I'm like, today, down 26 to the Blazers. Blazers are not a good NBA team. Like, they're objectively bad. They're very young, and their only good veteran is really Malcolm Brogdon. I guess you could say DeAndre Ayton, but he kind of takes half the game off most of the time. The Blazers score 70 points just about in the first half of the Bucks, and there's been a lot of issues like that in the NBA games this year, where it's like the first half the Bucks just look terrible or giving up way too many points to teams like the Wizards, stuff like that. And I think that a lot of the issues are coming from turnovers. Like today, if you watch the game, they actually Bucks played really well in half-court defense. Like they, at least in the second half for sure. The first half, the Blazers were hitting a lot of threes, but in the first half, the Bucks turned over like 15 times. There's so many transition layups. Bucks are not a really young run and gun team, other than when Giannis is taking the ball like full court in like a transition scenario, and it definitely hurts their ability to defend. However, the Bucks have easily been like the best, if not one of the 2 to 3 best teams in the fourth quarter this year. They probably won the fourth quarter in like every single game but 2 this entire season. And just about every single game that's close is being closed down and won by the Bucks. It's kind of the exact opposite of what's been for the last 4 or 5 years for the Bucks. A lot of the games over the last 3 to 4 years, Bucks would win by 20, 30 points against these terrible teams, but they couldn't close out games if it was close. Giannis would have the ball in his hands, and they would quadruple team him. He'd turn it over or get fouled, miss free throws. Having Damian Lillard is a complete game changer. It's in his hands all the time down the stretch, and he's an absolute stud. To me, the only way this card is going to be more expensive a year from now than today is if the Bucks win the finals this upcoming year or make the finals, and people can sit there and say, okay, it was year 1, year 2, they'll win the finals type of thing, right? Like if Bucks don't make it to the finals this year, and that is even given a good Celtics team. Although Celtics have their own problems too. I mean, they're losing to bad teams. They've lost to the Magic. Aren't really bad though. Magic been pretty good, but they lost, I think, to another team just recently. They lost to the Hornets too. But if the Bucks don't make the finals this year, at least I think this card is definitely going to be dropping because people expect a team that has Giannis and Dame to figure it out to make it to the finals. And I do expect the Bucks to make it to the finals this year. I think the Celtics are good. I also think the Celtics played out of their mind against the Bucks, and the Bucks played terrible in the first quarter against the Celtics and dug a 20-point hole. Bucks won the rest of that game in Boston. Really, the Bucks just need to figure out how to not get off to a terrible start and have a terrible first half, and it will go really well. I think Dame is amazing so far, and that's even with some rocky games in there. So I'm just excited to see what happens. But I would love this card in my collection. Let us know. Do you think Damian Lillard Silver PSA 10 will be more expensive a year from now than today? Unfortunately, my sports fandom has not been going very great recently. Chelsea's been terrible the last couple of years. Packers are actually turning around a little bit. Brewers really blew it at the end of the season. So I just think going with that theme, we won't win the finals this year, unfortunately. So I'll say this card will be less expensive next year than it is today.
I agree. I think you made some great points, and at the moment, I can't see them making the NBA Finals. Now, do I think that'll change? I like the way that they're playing. I think it will, but like you said, playing the Wizards and the Trailblazers is one thing, but if you give such a big lead to like the Sixers or the Celtics, it's not going to be as easy to just come back 20 points.
And we saw the Bucks did come back 20 points, got within 3, but couldn't close out because it is a better team with veteran leadership, right? And I agree with you. You won't come back in those games and win.
Yeah. So we've seen the flashes, Damian Lillard and Giannis. The potential's there, but they do need to figure that out because that is not something you want heading into the playoffs, but it's very early on in the season. So there's plenty of time.
I think the year that we actually won the finals, we started the season a little similar, where it was losing some of these games to these not great teams, maybe getting blown out in 1 or 2 scenarios, but it is The NBA is definitely a marathon, not a sprint. You're talking about an 82 game season where like these teams are going to test a million things up into the playoffs. You need health going to the playoffs. You can't have hurt players. Chris Middleton's actually going to be injured for the next probably like 2 to 3 weeks. So, in my opinion, honestly, Chris should once again play 20 minutes a game the rest of the NBA season once healthy, and then hopefully in the playoffs he's there to play in the second half too, because he still is really good. It's just about can he be injured or not, or can he not be injured is really what it comes down to. So he's been playing awesome when he's healthy this year.
Yeah, and of course I can't really talk because I got my notification that the Bulls lost the Nets. So we are terrible. So let's hope the Bucks do decent.
Yeah, man. Bulls are in shambles for sure.
Bucks should trade for Alex Caruso. Then I think you're NBA Finals.
I'd take it, but I don't know if we got the capital to trade for him. All right, next up here. I'm trying to figure out which card to use for this. I think we'll go with this one. We all love autographs, right? Lionel Messi, 2015 select, jersey number 10/25, orange autograph. Very awesome card here. It's at 12.25 current bid, ending tonight in the weekly auction 97. Just to set the table from now until the end of next year, Copa America, Argentina will be playing in, USA will be playing in it for the first time. Julian, that's really the only thing I can see from a actual sports perspective helping this card over the next year. Do you agree as if Argentina wins Copa America after winning the World Cup?
I would say also you throw in the Inter Miami perspective because he joined the team during the season. That was like a real crap team, if we're being honest. And
terrible. They were last.
Yeah, they were really bad. And he kind of turned it around, but it was such a big hole that he couldn't really completely turn it around. He's calling up all his buddies. They're coming over to Inter Miami. So I think him just being in the US is going to be huge for his market. So I throw in that there's potential there because if Inter Miami comes out hot, like out the gate, then maybe that would help. But the Copa America is going to be the big one because you don't know how many times left he's going to have within an Argentina jersey.
Do you think Argentina wins Copa America next summer?
I think so.
I think so too. I mean, you got Brazil, you got obviously the other South American countries. Now you've got USA, Canada, and
USA is going to pose a real threat. Greg Berhalter.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is that they won't. So it's and even Brazil hasn't looked that good recently. But yeah, for how about an Argentinian Garnacho? That's crazy goal day, wasn't it?
That was absolutely insane. And the thing that makes it like bicycle kicks aren't easy at all. But the fact that the ball was like going away from him, so like he like jumped, he like full turned 180, tried biking it as the ball's. I'm just like,
and
the physics there, it does not line up. It's insane.
He literally went from one edge of the box to the other edge of the goal too on the bicycle. Like, yeah, you're right. The physics was insane.
Power and ice.
It was probably one of the best goals I've seen in the last couple of years, honestly. I'm not sure the last time there's a goal that like Richarlison's scissor kick in the World Cup doesn't even like measure up to anything close to what Garnacho did, in my opinion. It was a sick goal, don't get me wrong, but Garnacho's was nasty.
It's just
and of course, we sold all of our Garnacho like within the last 3 weeks here in PWCC Weekly Auction. So anyone bought those here from us, congratulations if you did. Although he hasn't really done that much this season to that point, but hey, a moment like that definitely gets people intrigued to look at cards of them, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull out my Garnacho and my Menu, who is a dog.
Wait, is he back? Dog. He's back playing?
Yeah, he played today. He was so good. So good.
Good. All right. Well, we have to answer this question. Do you think this car will be more expensive a year from now than today?
I say yes.
You say yes. I think so too. I think that right now it does seem a little bit, lully for the soccer card market. I think without the international stuff going on, like in a big capacity, there's all these different qualifiers happening right now during the international breaks, but those are such a big draw for people to start to, watch the game, talk about the game, and look at the cards too, especially with this one being an Argentinian kid. I think is a special card. If they win Copa America, I think there'll be 3 international trophies in a row. They won Copa America last time, World Cup, and then that.
Sounds right.
Yeah, I mean that's domination. So
yeah,
and imagine it. Go ahead.
Just like the MLS perspective, I'll go back to that. The past 3 years, I have watched 0 MLS games. I have not paid attention to MLS whatsoever. I think last season when he joined, I watched like 3 or 4. So like that alone, just the eyes on is huge, and everyone's been talking about that for Saku. So I think there is a ton of potential for a bunch of cards.
Right. Agreed. What's up, Tony? How you doing? Good to see you, and welcome down to the farm. I know I just brought up your comment, but want to say hello. All right, next up in this, let's see here. What do we got? Oh, this is an interesting one. We'll go back to NBA for a second. Jordan Poole party. I know you were pretty excited about him going to Washington and being the guy.
I was.
He's been trying to be the guy, but he hasn't really been playing like the guy.
Yeah, it's just some of the shots he takes, just like it's like I don't know. What are you doing? That's the you're not like Steph Curry, and you're on a new team, so you're not trying to step on any toes or get anybody upset. But some of the stuff he's been doing, and like it doesn't seem like his attitude's in the right place. Those are things that'll hurt your market and hurt your play. I know he's been on a bit of a hot streak the past 3 games, but
yeah, but it's with a terrible efficiency.
Yeah, like 8 for 21. So like he's just chucking it. It's kind of like recess in like middle school where you're just like shooting a crazy.
I mean, you're talking this guy shooting barely 40% from the field and then 29% from 3. Like he's not really doing a whole lot right now to help his market on a team that is terrible. If you're on a team that's terrible, you literally gotta be averaging like 28 a game on 45 or even like 48, 35, and then whatever assists and stuff. But
yeah, I'd say that there's already the rumors that the Wizards are willing to move on because they don't think he's like a centerpiece for their franchise, which is not a good look at all.
Jordan Poole is a great additional scoring piece to a team that's already in contention. He's not a great let this guy just go and do whatever the heck he wants. That's my opinion on him. And he's a guy from Wisconsin, but honestly, he's kind of annoying too to watch sometimes. So
yeah, and I think if you're that guy, you have to be a leader of some sorts. And I have not seen any type of leadership mentality from him. And there's like videos from like him being in the huddle and not paying attention, and it's just I watched Michigan a ton when he was there. I was rooting for him when he went to the Warriors. It's disheartening because he has a ton of potential. So I'm hoping he turns it around, but it's going to be very critical the next this season and potentially next season to see how his career turns out.
It definitely will be. Let's see here. I want to see what this card sold for at one point because I gotta imagine that it was a very oh my gosh.
I would say 3 to 4K.
I mean, you're talking $3,000 as of February, Julian, of of 2023. We're talking during the peak, like 2022 playoffs, and the Warriors were in the finals, like $5,000 to $8,000.
Yeah, $600.
I know it's at $600 right now. Like that's the type of stuff that can happen though when these guys go from being on a contending team and being a good like. I think everyone wants their player that they're maybe collecting to be like the guy, but it hurts if they try to go and they're not that, and they're not like that additional piece on an actual, championship level team or even playoff level team for that matter. So, what do you think though? I mean, $600 is pretty low. Like, I'm not trying to say that it's a good buy right now, but I'm trying to just say, like, do you think he figures out? Do you think this can be more valuable than $600, $800 a year from now?
It would depend on how close to the floor you think we are. I think if it stays pretty cheap, it's worth the flyer, because if he happens to turn around or he gets traded to a contender and he's like that second or third option and he gets back to the form he was the Warriors, it'll go up. So I would say yes, I would take a flyer on it, but it's extremely risky.
On Basketball Reference, how they got like nicknames for certain players. They got 4 nicknames for Jordan Poole. Okay, I'm sure you've heard of Pool Party, right?
Yep.
Okay, they got the Microwave. What are they doing? Like, is this like a 2K nickname here? They got Swaggy Pool. And then JP3. I've never heard of the guy called JP3 in my life.
JP3. I haven't heard of that.
He's not even number 3.
Party. If you try calling me the Microwave, I'd be like, please stop.
Please stop. Skydiv says he's got a Pedri Manga PSA 10 for sale tonight. If anyone is looking for Pedri, check it out on the auction. I do feel like that with Jude Bellingham's like just incredible rise. I think he had 2 more goals today, or maybe another goal or 2 day or whatever.
Yeah.
It has really curbed the excitement for players like Pedri on a team like Barcelona that isn't, they're not in the lead in La Liga right now. And I think that, and whatever Jude Bellingham is showing is that kind of what the stereotypical soccer card talk was over the last couple of years is really that like goal sell. Like you can have a player that's amazing that doesn't score and like you won't see too much movement in their prices, but Jude Bellingham, who scored some goals in the Champions League, his cards were valuable, has now been scoring a lot of goals, and you see how crazy that drives the market.
Yeah, and the unfortunate thing for people who follow soccer quite closely is that now for not like the average collector, but for people now the expectation is for a Pedri or a Gavi to be scoring 11 goals in 12 games when like realistically midfielders are not doing that. And like what Jude is doing is not normal. He's playing a lot higher up because he's proven he can score goals.
And because they're kind of lacking that like central striker too in the team.
Yeah, definitely.
Where like Barca has Lewandowski.
Yeah, and Pedri sits back and controls the game, and he's really good at what he does. But I'm afraid this goal scoring streak is creating like a new narrative for these midfielders.
I mean, likely, which is why you're seeing the price value so different. Honestly, I can't even believe that this card is still $2,000. Daniel Jones National Treasures PSA 8. I think, like you said, we've seen one of these sell every single week for the last, I don't know, 2 months. We had the clip of where you and I were talking about Daniel Jones's market before the season. Us kind of be like, hey, why are these cards so expensive? Like they made the playoffs last year, but the stats really were not even that good. And I think that with his injury, like if the Giants take a quarterback in this draft, which I'm not exactly saying that they are, it might be the worst contract that we've seen given out other than Deshaun Watson. Because they traded 3 first-round picks to get Deshaun Watson. But if they draft a quarterback, they just spend $45 million a year for nothing.
Yeah, it's a tough situation because even if he doesn't play the best, they might be in the position to be like, hey, we have to play him because we don't want to cut him with that contract.
Yeah, I mean, that's what every single team at some point has to decide with an underperforming player likely is, hey, is it worth the sunk cost,
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, every week when I'm looking at the auction, I'm like, I swear I just saw this card. It's like deja vu. So we'll probably see one next week and we can keep track of how the prices are doing.
Right. And that's a PSA 8. That's not even like a 9 or a 10. And it's a $2,000. And also, you know how much people don't like horizontal cards. Making horizontal National Treasures RPAs, like where it's like this zoomed out of a photo, these just look bad in my opinion. Like this is just not a good NTRPA design.
Yeah, I agree. Vinny says there is a green Churio first Bowman auto.
I don't see it unless he's talking. He might be talking Jason Churio. I looked up Jackson, and I didn't see. Yeah, I don't see it. It might not be here too as potential.
Maybe.
Giannis.
Oh, he said ending in 12 minutes. Maybe it's
yeah that's what I'm saying.
Or no, maybe
yeah. Giannis Galactic PSA 10. I'm a huge fan of Galactics. Back when they came out with these things, they were like super, super small print run. They're a little bit bigger now, obviously, with them being still a case hit and the increase in production run. It's not, they don't keep the same print run, but super nice cards there for anyone that might be interested in that. But in the end, do you think there's any scenario that Daniel Jones cards worth more than $2,000? I forgot to ask you to finish it off.
I would not get anywhere close to the Daniel Jones card.
Instantly, absolutely not.
No.
All right, now I'm just stumbling across this card right now here. I don't really feel like that the question applies for 4 guys who are pretty much retired at this point: Drew Brees, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. I just want to say this is an amazing card. This card features 4 of the best quarterbacks of all time, which all played in the same era. Nasty patches, 2 to 3 color patches of every player on the card. I just think the design is fantastic. There's really nice gold etching on it. There's a lot of blank space in the there's not a lot going on in the background. And it's just a fantastic card. A quad patch of these 4 players. It's at $330 right now. Obviously isn't $0, but it doesn't feel like it's as expensive as maybe something like this could be.
Yeah, it's nasty, like you said. And anytime you have the patches, where if you take away like the players and you strictly look at the patches, you can tell what the teams are, or like make a pretty good guess. That's perfection.
Perfection. Yeah, the bottom right one, actually, I think I would probably guess the Cowboys if I just had, if you didn't know it was Brady, but I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I actually think it might be from partially the Patriot logo too. It would be my guess. But that's, then the Rodgers is from like the armband or neck, actually probably the neckband. But yeah, super, super, super cool card. All right, let's see here. What else we got? This one's crazy. This, Flawless Panini always puts these type of patches into their draft picks or collegiate products. This is a bowl game patch from Fiesta Bowl, I think, for Joe Burrow, but I am pretty sure. Actually, it says player worn material on the back, so there's a chance that he wore that jersey or something at like a media event or something like that. But really cool patch in that one. Sometimes, as if there are college collectors out there, if you can get those patches from bowl games are player worn, pretty cool cards, and depending on the player and the value, might be worth a snag for your collection. Are you a big Fred Warner guy?
Bye.
I was gonna say, I thought you liked this one.
Fred Warner.
Have you ever looked at any of his cards before?
I have, so I'm surprised that this is as much as it is. Because a lot of his stuff isn't that expensive.
Was he a rookie in 2021?
No, I think he's been. I feel like it's been a few years. Just 2019, 2018. Maybe?
Actually, sorry, it's 2018. I think
he's been around for a while.
Yeah, definitely misspoke.
Which is kind of why this is kind of shocking. But
do you remember that one game when he was just like absolutely like screaming when he's down in the field? Thought the dude just had like a career-ending injury, but
that was last season, right?
I think it was earlier this season.
Was it earlier this season? Yeah, I was watching that and I was like, oh god.
Yeah, I think I was texting you. But yeah, I mean, he ended up being okay. I think that he's still playing right now. But pretty cool card there. Hector said, now this is statistically the best time to buy baseball cards around Thanksgiving. And yeah, between like Thanksgiving into Christmas time around there, if you are a baseball card fan, a prospector, possibly in some Bowman Chrome, whatever it might be, it is a pretty nice time to start looking at some of those players you might like and trying to pick some guys up on a deal. I think that Jay's got a question for you.
Yeah, I gotta do some research here and I'll make a great guess.
Just go to non-sport and pick out the craziest thing you see.
Yeah.
There are a couple of really nice baseball cards in here. I might look to snag one or so.
There's another. I swear this was a card that we talked about before, but the Peter Jackson Speed Through the Ages, Thomas Edison. I think that was one of the ones we guessed for. At the end, which card we thought was going to end that might have been the one where it got too high. Yes, bingo.
Wait, there's no way that he commented bingo that fast, because there's like a 15-second delay, unless maybe he did. Then you're just a genius.
Yeah.
And down the farm says it's more expensive than it usually is. Prospect market is hot. Yeah, and people are preparing for Bowman draft right now, right?
Yeah.
All right, 1 second. Were you right?
Oh no, I'm guessing. I'm just saying, yeah, for some Bowman draft. We're excited to.
Yeah, you ready to rip?
Ready to rip. I'm always ready to rip.
Yeah, I'm ready to rip. I'm also ready for Vinny's prospect cheat sheet with us. His Bowman draft guide is going to be releasing at some point soon. Vinny and I will set that up for you also. I'm excited about that. All right, I just dropped you a bit on a card as there's only 3 minutes left in the I'll share it later if I end up getting it. I cannot believe this. These Tops Now cards, the conditions like way too good on these things as they print a ton of them and they're like on pretty glossy stock. $290 for Victor Wembanyama, bro. I feel like his cards, I don't know if you've seen some of the graphs on his cards, but like they're kind of going bonkers, and they have been for now a couple weeks, like the Bowman Chrome first autos and stuff like that. Do you think that so far this season his play has justified his cards to be as expensive or increase as much as they have? I mean, you're talking like it was like plus $2,000 on some of those like Bowman Chrome autos.
Yeah, probably not, especially when you factor in the Spurs record, which I saw a graphic because it's one of those things where you see all the highlights and it's like, oh, Victor Wembanyama makes this great plays. I think they're on like a 10 game losing streak, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, no, I don't think it's justified. That some of the stuff has been going for ridiculous money. Like I think it was the Green Bowman University auto.
Yeah, $10,000 last week or whatever.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, on the flip side though, you look and like he is doing like crazy things, right? Like 22 points tonight. He was 2 for 5 from 3, but the really impressive thing is he had 6 steals and 4 blocks tonight. He had 10 stocks, which is impressive as heck. So like he is a very effective defender. Like it's no joke. Like he's not just a big tall guy there that just, is big and tall in the middle of the paint. He actually is extremely effective. But yeah, the Spurs are just terrible. I mean, they just are bad. Like I thought that they'd be better. Honestly, I thought they would be maybe, in the 9-10 seed. Like they're pretty much like towards the bottom of the NBA right now.
Yeah, I agree. I thought they were going to be a lot better, but like you said, I don't think Victor Wembanyama is a bad player, and I still think he's one of the he's going to be potentially one of the best players in like 4 to 5 years, but maybe sooner. But right. I think you have to factor in team play to stuff like that, and I don't know if that warrants.
I need Coach Pop to stop disrespecting Trey Jones. Also, Trey Jones deserves to play more minutes. He's a true point guard. I think he's playing like Jeremy Sohan or whatever. He's still like starting him, but Sohan only has 17 minutes in this game. And what is up with him benching Devin Vassell too? He's like their best scorer. They just gave him like $150 million contract.
Yeah, that's kind of bizarre. And you want to talk about something else bizarre? I've never ever seen a coach grab a microphone in the middle of a game and say like, "Stop."
I don't know if I texted you about that.
I don't even know if that's allowed. Like,
it's Pop, so anything's allowed for him. But no, seriously, I saw that. I'm like, what is this? Like the high school gym or something like right now?
Yeah, like Kawhi shooting free throws, and all of a sudden Pop's on the mic saying, "Stop booing." Like, where did he even get that from? Like, he was like, I was like, "Give me a mic."
Yeah, so it was so weird. It was so weird. Honestly, I like respect it a little bit because it's like, you want to like to represent well your fan base and your team and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like, dude, it's an NBA game. Like
it's part of the sport. Like
it's part of the sport.
Like maybe they're booing a little bit more because it was quiet, but I'm sure if it was LeBron James at the free throw line, they would be booing.
Yeah, exactly. They'd be making noise and stuff. But like in the end, I mean, it's hard to blame Spurs fans when like he was holding out constantly, not playing, demanding trades. Like, yeah, he won them what was it? 2 finals, whatever it was, or helped, in one finals MVP one of those years. But like you still are a little salty if a player leaves your team, right? So I don't know. I think it's funny, but I also think it's kind of weird.
Yeah, because like what if Craig Counsell comes back and someone grabs the mic and says, "Stop booing"?
Yeah, I'd be like, no, stop. Like, yeah, he wants a ton of divisions, but no, let us boo, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, rather weird. Also, can we talk about how bad these Chargers are? They have 3 points at home right now, dude.
Dude, don't get me started. I have Justin Herbert and Eckler on my team. I was literally like predicted to win this game at the start of the game, and now I'm like gonna lose by like 20 points.
They have 3 points in the third quarter, dude. They're so bad. They have to.
They have the personnel. They need a new coach. How long are they going to let this guy like go on for?
You're wasting Herbert's like emergence in prime. I know he's super young still, but like he's obviously one of the better quarterbacks in the game. And Keenan Allen's prime for sure. Like now he is going to get towards the end of his prime soon.
Yeah, you got like Khalil Mack, who like you don't know how much longer he's going to be like decent and shit.
Yeah, they're absolutely wasting away that team, which is loaded with talent. Like the Packers are better, and the Packers have the youngest roster, which just shows how bad the coach is there. I don't even think the Packers coach is that good. One of my favorite National Treasures designs, mostly because it looks so different from what they make this nowadays. 2010 playoff NT. I know that a lot of people know this from the crossover in 2020 with football. They made football NTRPAs that look like this. An insert set, but this is the original design from 2010. Number out 25 of Paul George. This set also featured John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins, Some other players that I'm blanking on. But back then there was a very this was an odd transition where this was playoff national treasures. This was before Panini got the exclusive license, but right after Topps stopped making in 2009 because they lost their license. So it's just a very weird time. Panini ended up buying playoffs brand. So actually, no, this was technically made by Panini, but this was before the start of Prism and everything like that. So just the rookie card choices back then were a little odd. So this National Treasures RPA is pretty cool, but this is while they were still rocking with the playoff brand. And then on the back, though, it does have Panini's logo for the manufacturer. So just an interesting card, really cool design in my opinion. And another one that I absolutely love is this Shohei Ohtani. I think this card is awesome. It's from the MLB logo fractor set, which I think people have mixed opinions on if they like it or not. Do you like the MLB logos on the cards? All that stuff. But I think this image is awesome of him pitching. Normally horizontal cards, yeah, people talk down on, but to get a full image of someone pitching like that, especially Ohtani, is just so cool. So that's a fun one. But maybe hurts the value a little bit with him not being able to pitch this upcoming year. So we'll see about that. And also, don't forget, at the end of tonight's episode, we will be giving away at least one card is the plan, and I'm trying to snag that right now for y'all. So we'll see if we can get that done.
And you better hope Aaron doesn't guess you as to winning it, because then you're automatically not going to win it.
You better hope. Something just happened in this game. I'm not sure what it is, but maybe it's good for you and your fantasy team.
I highly doubt it's going to be good for my fantasy team. Nope. 5 points for Justin Herbert and 4.5 points for Eckler.
Julian, we might need to get a nice versus post going here tomorrow. Chet Holmgren contenders, cracked ice auto PSA 10, or Michael Jordan 84 star rookie.
That'll get quite the reaction.
I think you might have to do it.
Run it.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. Oh boy,
my boy.
He's literally
a good post too.
He's literally right here.
Wait, is he downstairs?
Yeah.
Oh,
they're trying to call.
We want a Leo appearance.
Oh boy,
come on, lift him up.
He's not right next to me. If he comes right,
put him on the table.
Wow, look at this.
I actually started this car. The GOAT.
Wait, I'm supposed to be asking you about your cards.
It's okay. We're having fun.
Yeah, no, Justin Tucker auto PSA 10. Wow, this is a $1,500 card was the last sale. That's insane.
Crazy.
I mean, these are
yeah, that's crazy.
They got to be super short printed though, because there's only been 96 sales ever, any grade, any condition, and obviously some of those could sell multiple times. So it has to be super short printed in the set. But yeah, greatest kicker of all time. Still actively playing today, of course.
Yeah.
Wild card. Okay, Julian, let's talk.
Let's talk. What we want to talk about.
Talk about the cards that you want us to highlight.
All right, we'll have to go real quick.
Real quick?
Well, because some of them sold, but I guess we can talk about it. Okay, so there's this one sold, but there's a 2018 Shohei Ohtani and Mike Trout in a golf cart, which I think is the sickest card ever, and I love it.
This is the black parallel, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen this card before, so you can probably elaborate more on it. But I saw this card and I was like, I would totally buy this card.
Yeah, so this is from 2018 update. Of course, when Ohtani had another rookie card in that year, he was first rookie of some series too. But they got Ohtani, Trout, and then of course Justin Upton on the back of it, which I feel like a lot of people would just like to Photoshop him out and not have his name on the card too. But it's not technically a rookie logo card. They do these cards in update where it's fun ones of teams celebrating together. Oh, I thought I was showing it. Sorry. My bad. Here's the card. Ohtani, Trout, and then on the back is Justin Upton just kind of staring right at the camera.
That's hilarious.
It's pretty funny. But yeah, they do these little cards and update for each team where it's just something like a team celebrating, yada yada. And this one they chose to have them in the golf cart together, which I think is an awesome card. But yeah, 630 for the PSA 10. And those are tough to get PSA 10s in those black borders.
It's amazing. I love cards like that where it's kind of funny. So
right.
Very smart.
Next up.
Let's go to a Theo Porcher 2022 Red Sapphire, which I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't bid on. He won Formula 2, which is right under
I
Formula.
can't find this.
It's sold.
How do you? Oh, there it is. But yeah. So wait, he won Formula
Let's see
2.
the spelling. I want to see you try and spell it out.
It's here.
No, okay.
Uh,
You were saying
he won F2 this year.
yes. Yep. Young guy, one F2. Unfortunately, there's not a ton of seats that are probably going to be open. I know there's a lot of seats that don't have official commitments with contracts, but a lot of the guys we know they're going to resign.
Pretty much all of them are back, except we still don't know the Williams thing. But it sounds like that what they said to him at the end of the race day, they'll have more races in the future. So
yeah, and I kind of want Logan to come back, but I think for super short. Not short print, low numbered. Sorry, my brain is completely. But a low numbered card of a talented driver, young guy. He's only 20. I'm a big F1 guy, and so is Aaron. I would pull the trigger on something like this.
Well, supposedly he's in the Alfa Romeo Academy, so I think that it'd be viable to see Bottas or Joe get pushed out in 2025 and him racing in 2025. Now, it's a while to wait, but if you buy super low now, I mean, we saw it happen in Piastri this year, but he's in McLaren, so a different scenario. You never know; it might be worth a hold, right? And I know that he was talked up as kind of the next prodigy after Piastri, and now he won F2. So, but because he won F2, he can't race in F2 next year. So,
which puts him in an interesting situation because he'll probably end up being like Drugovich, who won last year F2, who's just sitting in the Aston Martin reserve driver spot. So Porsche will probably be like that unless something happens. But the funny thing is probably the past year, the best, the easiest F1 cards that I've sold or made the most money on have been like F2 drivers, which is kind of funny. But there's that what if, like what would happen if he got a spot and went off like Piastri?
Yeah, an F2 driver getting an F1 seat is probably like a backup quarterback getting their first start, but on steroids.
Like Bailey Zappi getting the start and then like popping off.
Like 10 times over.
Yes.
What's up, Ken? Good to see you, Ken. But yeah, that's a pretty cool card right there. I know that's his second ever card, I believe. I think he had one in 2021, right? He had auto in 2021.
I think so.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, Knick-Knack. F2 prospecting just hits different. Okay, a card that just sold for actually not a terrible price, but there's a Carlos Alcaraz 2022 Net Pro.
I saw that. That's the patch auto, right?
Sold for 2,880, which I think is like not too bad. It's in a PSA slab, so I would if I bought this, I'd potentially take a look at it and crack and send SGC. But
yeah, I think the value of this card is like just a card alone is way higher. The 8 probably like completely hurts us because most of these are going to be the 6 are graded higher, so there's more graded higher than PSA 8s. But I think these probably sell for like $4,000 plus raw.
Yeah, so there is like a BGS 9.5 sold recently for $6,000.
Yeah,
like I think also his market's kind of gone down a little bit just because he's not number one anymore, which is kind of like bonkers to me because he's so young and he's proven to be such a good player. So like it's like it seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, supposedly. I follow some Twitter. It's combined tennis and I don't even know what I did. Tennis and Twitter. Follow some tennis Twitter accounts that were saying like, oh, him winning Wimbledon and like and stuff like that, and the U.S. Open last year have like kind of exposed himself to like, I don't know if it's like showing his hand too much or something like that. Now people know how to play him, yada yada yada. He lost a match or two here, so now people know how to beat him. But the guy is so good; he's a physical beast. He's still like 20 years old and already has 2 Grand Slams and was world number 1 at the youngest age ever. So, coming from a position of having a Carlos Alcaraz autograph, so not trying to talk it up just to talk it up, as I would be viably looking to sell it too right now. Not necessarily because I want to sell it because I think I can make a ton of money, just because there's other things I would rather spend the money on right now. But it is a cool card, and in all honesty, I'm not the biggest fan of this specific patch autograph because I think it looks just like the immaculate patch autos from 2012, but that's just me. But cool card. All right, next up.
Agree. We can do one more. One of the ones was the Joe Burrow, just because it's such a nasty patch. But
Which one?
the one you talked about, the collegiate.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
I will go with. We'll go with the Dennis Rodman, Steve Kerr, 2007 SP Game Use Significance. Bulls fan in me, I love it. And I feel like there's not a ton of like dual autos with Steve Kerr on it, which is kind of shocking because of how good he was for the Bulls. And
Yeah, Steve Kerr's autographs sell for like nothing, but it's kind of crazy how expensive this one is.
yeah, so I think it's pretty cool just because it's two guys. It's not your like typical Pippen or Jordan, which would, if it was Jordan, it would make the card ridiculously expensive. But for a Bulls fan, something like this is super attractive because of the price point. But like you said, it's a little bit more than I thought it would be. But my inner Bull, the glory days, making me feel nice and warm inside because we were good and now we suck.
It is a cool card. And it's at 460 right now. And I think still running, right? Yep.
Still running.
As is that Jordan Poole Contenders, correct? I saw the PSA 10 still running. There's plenty of cool cards still live on auction right now. I end up getting the giveaway, so we'll reveal the giveaway at some point here tonight. Obviously, we will do the giveaway tonight, and I will guess the correct person. I know that will happen, so I can't wait to do that.
Yeah, okay.
This is stuff I don't understand. I'm not even sure exactly. I haven't seen this before. NBA designation of authentic but altered.
Yeah, I did. I saw that.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
It's just like, first of all, don't alter any cards. But second, like, how dumb do you have to be to alter a $20,000 card no matter the grade?
Yeah.
You know?
Not smart.
No, not smart at all. Hey, I've never even asked you this question. We were talking about Kawhi Leonard.
This was another one on my list.
What's your perception? Yeah, thank you, Jim. And also not for once, because he looked awesome against the Chargers too. Dude, I'm telling you, the receivers are starting to click. Reed, Dobbs, and even Watson had a huge game. Watson was a big help, and I talked so much smack on him over the last 5 weeks. I'm really happy he proved to everyone that he can be aggressive again in that wide receiver one position, hopefully. But Julian, what's the Bulls fans' perception on Jimmy Butler? Like, is it like a Kawhi Leonard? Where
I'd say it's more like a Derrick Rose, but not to that extent. Just because he gave so much to our organization and was a fan favorite, and he didn't like force his way out. It was kind of like the Bulls were at the point where we should maybe rebuild. So he was shipped out. I think the relationship's quite good, and I love this card just because it's got the 21 super sweet patch, and then he's in the Bulls jersey, and Jimmy G and Jimmy Butler have a special place in my heart. But Jimmy Butler, he was just
I
went to last season the Heat Bulls game, and he got cheers when he was announced.
Back in like 2017, I actually think I owned this card.
And you got rid of it? What is wrong with you?
Well, I mean, I think I got it for like $250. Okay, Jim. I get what you're saying about Chargers don't have a secondary, but keep in mind Lamar Jackson is only 15 for 27, 149 yards and a touchdown tonight against that same Chargers secondary. So we can't just make up excuses if Jordan Love actually played well, which he did. He was hitting like every single throw except for like 2 or 1, just like this past game. His completion percentage the last 2 games has been way higher than the rest of the season. Although not the hardest to do when you are throwing like 50% completion before that, but at the same time, it's been like 63 to 68, I think. Hey, this one ended up selling for 400. I think this was awesome. Awesome. Well, okay. Now this is another excuse. Jordan Love has got the youngest receiver core in the NFL with dudes that are all rookies. 2 rookie tight ends, 2 rookie receivers, a wide receiver who was playing terribly against the Chargers and teams before that. I'm just saying. Like,
I would say Lamar has a few decent guys to throw to. Odell has been popping off. He's getting back to.
I mean, you're talking two first round wide receivers on that team. I know Odell's veterans off of injury. And he even had, he has Mark Andrews today, but at the same time, I mean, Luke Musgrave was hurt last game. Okay. I'm done. We're moving on. That's not even close to the same logic. We're moving on.
No, man, maybe he's right. I think the Bears are the best team in football.
Why is that?
Just because.
Just because. Tom, I'm talking about Wicks and Reed. Watson plays like he's a college wide receiver, so that's okay. I'm moving on.
Bears,
I don't agree,
Bears
Jim.
best team. Cardinals, maybe.
If you say that Jordan Love playing against the Chargers and they have a bad secondary makes his performance invalid, then you literally have to rip on Lamar Jackson for not having massive stats tonight. That's all I'm saying. You can't discount one and not count the other. Jordan Love is good, and next year we will be even better than this year. Which we still have a very good shot at the playoffs this year, like a very good shot. Tyreek Hill,
best team.
I think that this, to me, like I know he's not on the Chiefs anymore, but to me this sells a little low. Like a little under $2,000 for an Eminence patch autograph, 1 of 1. Okay, first of all,
is it associated or game used?
Wait, it's player worn, but hold on. How are we releasing like a $30,000 box and not making sure that the patches are game worn?
It's not?
No, it's player worn, which normally I'll give player worn a pass for Panini, but not in a $30,000 box. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if this is game worn,
no, yeah, 100%.
This price sells for like $4,000.
A lot of, like, even if it is like game used, like it goes for a decent amount, but does that touch the price of a box?
It's not even close. No. Tom, I do feel sorry for your Bills. You keep on losing close games. Josh Allen, like I said earlier in the stream, actually played extremely well tonight. I think Dobbs has the potential to be a good receiver. He's got a couple drops in this game and also doesn't create as much separation at times as I like. But Watson has been very poor this year, other than just last game. I don't think we can call Watson a really good receiver until he, 1, isn't made of glass, and 2, shows up for more than 1 game in a season, which he's only been good for 1 game this year. Although I have to give him his props. He was amazing last game. So please do it the rest of the season, because then, yeah, we will be cooking every game. And our schedule is very easy other than the Chiefs the rest of the year. And the Chiefs, I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. They don't scare me as much as they used to. So they don't, man. They don't.
Aaron might be getting a bit ahead of himself.
I'm not saying that we're winning against the Chiefs, but we are at home and they don't scare me as much as they used to. That's all I'm saying.
Let me pull up the Packers schedule.
Look at it.
Tommy DeVito, Giants, you're getting cooked.
Dude, look at this schedule, bro.
Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, you're getting cooked.
Okay, I love Baker Mayfield, but that still is not a hard game.
Realistically, I'd say you lose to the Chiefs, you lose to the Vikings, and you might lose to the Buccaneers.
I don't think at home we don't lose to the Buccaneers. I don't think.
So I think that's
it'd be 4-2, and right now we're 5-6, so we'd end at the old 9-8, and then you're talking about having probably a tiebreaker maybe in there or something like that to make the playoffs. To me, I think that if we lose a game, it's either the Chiefs or the Vikings. I think we win 5 of the last 6 and make the playoffs. Just me. And yeah, Buccaneers are underrated.
I agree. I agree with Jim on this one. I think the Buccaneers are a little underrated.
They are underrated. I like the Buccaneers. I actually think they are pretty competitive in all of their games.
Do I think the Packers will keep having some flashes? Yes. I don't. They played pretty good the past 2 games. I think it's bound to be some type of blowout.
We'll see. All I'm saying is that if you look at the Seahawks schedule, who I think are probably the most likely team that would be like in our way, or the Vikings, the Seahawks play the Cowboys, the Niners, the Eagles in their next 3 games. Cowboys, Niners, Eagles. If they win any of those 3 games, I'd be utterly shocked.
Yeah, I don't think they will.
All right, maybe I know that. Okay, I guess we're going to get slaughtered by the Chiefs, Jim says. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not saying that we're beating the Chiefs. I actually think that Chiefs game will be a loss. If we lose the Chiefs, I think we beat the Vikings, vice versa. I think we'll lose one game the rest of the season. And if we lose like 4 games, come back and clown me. I deserve it then. Seahawks can win one of those games, but also the Packers can win one of those games too, Jim. Or win that game against the Chiefs. Yeah, I'm not concerned about the Lions. Lions will win the division. They can go on and win the division. More time with the wild card. But yeah, Lions might end up the season with just like 3 or 4 losses, which would be pretty crazy. All right, went way off the rails there for a second, thanks to my guy Jim Baker. There is the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, which does have some sales history to it. I know. I remember this card popping up a few times here on the weekly auction. I think I knew who owned this card at one point, actually. See, are the Seahawks good, or if the Seahawks are a legit good team, I think they would have played the Niners a little bit more competitively at home with that super loud crowd. I'm not really buying the Seahawks being a legit good team. They lost to the Rams, they lost to the Niners, and they almost lost to the Commanders. I'm not really sure, and they got blown up by the Ravens. How are we calling the Seahawks a legit good team?
Aaron, let's focus.
Okay, I'm focusing up.
I got to keep you on track.
Yes. All right. So this card is actually sold multiple times here, like over the last 2.5 years now, or 2 years. We had $11,000 back in 2021, early $11,000. Then it dropped to $5,000 November of 2021. Then it got resold in February of 2022 for $4,400. Then it sold in February of 2023 for $7,800. And now it's going to go over that now. Yeah, I mean, Shai's an amazing talent. He's an amazing talent. I've loved that guy for a long time. I'm super happy he's playing as well as he is with the Thunder. But more importantly, I mean, if you look at and we haven't talked about this since last episode. If you look at the standings in the NBA, right now you're talking about the Thunder top 2 in the West, and then the T-Wolves number 1, and then the Magic tied with the Bucks now for 2 in the East. The Magic are on a 7-game win streak. They were 5-5. I mean, you're talking two teams that were like in that transition mode, early in their transition mode. At least the Magic more early even than the Thunder. And do you think that either of those teams last through the rest of the season like the Kings did last year? Because let's be real, the Kings, I probably didn't expect the Kings to be a top 3 seed in the West last year. I think they ended up being number 3 or maybe 4 at worst.
I think the Magic I think it's unrealistic keeping up the pace that they're at. I think OKC really needs to, as everyone knows, they have so many picks and they're ahead of schedule. So I would take a few of those picks, trade for a solid veteran, like just for the who's efficient on offense, but also brings that championship mindset. I think then they'd be set. And it definitely doesn't help with everything that's going on right now because certain player is a big contributor to that team. So I think that'll reveal a lot about how well they'll do.
There was a pretty big Banchero card, I think, tonight. I think it was like a 1-of-1. It was not an NBA Prism card, but it was a Prism Draft Picks Black Auto 1-of-1. Always an interesting situation talking about draft picks cards because you got the penmanship black 1010 here selling for $1,300, but you also have a black flawless Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on-card collegiate selling for around the exact same price. To me, I'm taking the flawless over the Banchero, flawless Shai over the Banchero. I'm not really sure how a sticker auto of Banchero, who is good, but not even close to as good as Shai, at least now, obviously, is selling for the same price as this flawless rookie patch autograph. I don't get that. Also just me. And we got Jim in the house, so Jim can throw out some hot takes here. Jim, what's your thoughts on Jalen Hurts and everyone else in the comments if you want to throw it into? Because, like, I watch this guy and I say, oh, man, this guy's really good. Watch another week and say, oh, man, I'm not really sure if he's that good. And then, like, obviously he gets a ton of rushing touchdowns with the tush push and even just him running the ball. Like, I think he's up to now, like, 11 rushing touchdowns, which is going to break last year's amount pretty soon here. Julian, do you think that Hurts is kind of in the upper echelon of QBs. I know last year he wasn't close in the MVP race with Mahomes. Mahomes ended up winning it.
Yeah, I say easy top 10, but when you're comparing to last season, he's not been as great. He has 18 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. Last year, he finished with 22 touchdowns and just 6 interceptions. Now, I don't watch a ton of Eagles games. So, like you said, he scores a lot with the tush push, which is kind of, I realized that when I was looking up like rushing stats for the season, because I think he has like third most rushing stats, like including running backs, which is crazy. But he's a good player. But I think this year is the focus has been on him because he was in the MVP conversation last year. So he's on a really good team, which I think helps. But it's an interesting situation for sure.
It is, and it's like his completion percentage is higher this year, but he's throwing interceptions. He's probably going to end the season with more total touchdowns this year than last year. And last year he had a lot. Like I think he probably had like what was like maybe top 5 total touchdowns in the league, maybe top 3. So it's just an interesting situation where I feel like that his market won't reach the heights of what Burrow's have been, even though they both made a Super Bowl and lost, just because he's not like the pure passer that Burrow is. And there is kind of like more ways that Hurts affects the game where it does include the running and such like that. But it's not like that he's averaging like 3 yards a carry, likely because they are QB sneaking it so much. And he is only getting a yard on a lot of the carries. But I don't know. It's just kind of an interesting situation here. And they're 10-1, but they've been in like a billion close games. Like the Bills, I guess, could probably be 10-1 if they finished all the games like the Eagles have been, you know? So I'm not really sure.
Tom says he'd take Derek Carr over Hurts if only pocket passing. But overall, okay, yeah, that makes sense. I thought he was going to say Derek Carr over Hurts, and I was like, that's questionable. But in terms of pocket passing, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Carr is not playing. I mean, the Saints committed a lot to Derek Carr, like very fast. Obviously, yeah, that's what happens when you're late in your career. You just get a contract and go play somewhere. But they're not. They look like what they're not even in position to win this division now, and the division's the worst in football. Every single team in this division, they're actually tied with the Falcons. So every single team in the division has a losing record, which is just absolutely embarrassing. I mean, that's embarrassing. 5 and 6 or worse is all the teams. Like, it's so bad.
Yeah, the Falcons. I didn't even see. How did Desmond Ridder do today?
Bijan had a huge touchdown catch for them. Bijan had a great game.
Okay, so Desmond Ridder did not have that great of a game.
No, Ridder had 2 interceptions at 63 QBR, 1 touchdown to Bijan. Bijan literally like won them that game, really. I mean, almost 6 yards of carry, 2 touchdowns. And I think they intercepted Carr once. That was the pick 6. The pick 6 also helped them win. Carr had 0 touchdowns today. Olave was having a monster game, and then he got knocked out with a concussion. Oh, it is a really weird time in the NFL, Wesley. I agree. Like, there's a lot of like teams that I don't know. I think the playoffs are going to be interesting because the last couple of years you look and you're like, oh, yeah, the Chiefs will make the Super Bowl. Last year it's pretty clear the Eagles will make the Super Bowl. This year it's like, dang, even the Eagles at 10-1, I feel like any given playoff game someone could beat them. The Bills are way worse, but I feel like they're not really like that bad. Their record's just way worse. The Chiefs haven't been that dominant. And now the Broncos have won like 6 in a row or something?
Yeah.
Broncos they're what are they? I think they're 3 games out, right? And 2 games out. 2 games out of the Chiefs in the AFC West. Now Chiefs are and the Jaguars are actually tied at the top of the conference. Dolphins, Ravens, Jags, and Chiefs. What a time.
What a time. Oh yeah, I thought Vinny's talking about Nomad Canada. I think there was like they had 400 yards of offense like for the first time of the season. I don't know why they
wait 400 yards of offense and only 16 points.
Maybe I'm tripping.
No. You're right. They did have 400 yards of offense, but they only scored 16 points.
Yeah, I mean it's just crazy how much Matt Canada was holding that team back.
To be fair, I mean Kenny Pickett did have almost a 100 passer rating today, which I'm sure he hasn't had before that this year.
Yeah.
How do the Wait. You're telling me the Bengals have Jake Browning as their quarterback, and they
Yeah.
only ran the ball 11 times today?
Did they win?
They lost to the Steelers 16-10. They only ran the ball 11 times when they have Jake Browning as a quarterback. That makes no sense.
I'm kind of shocked that they haven't tried to trade. Joe Mixon had 8 carries for 16 yards.
That's what I'm saying. How are they not running the ball more when they have Jake Browning backup quarterback in? All right. We are getting probably pretty close to the end of this auction. It is 1 minute windows here, so pretty soon we'll probably be down to 24 items, or maybe we already are getting there. So I got to start up this giveaway, but first I got to also share what the giveaway is. Make sure to drop your comments in the chat or your number ones. Please put a number 1 in the comments. We are going to give away this Jordan Travis Green Shimmer PSA 9 First Bowman Chrome. He did just get injured. He actually broke his leg 2 weeks ago. Really, really brutal end of the season for him. He was balling out. Florida State undefeated. He's been there. Really rose that program up from kind of the ditch. I mean, they're pretty bad, and he really pulled that program up. And it just stinks they got hurt, but also created for a pretty nice price in this to give away to someone. So it's at $17. Obviously, we'd rather have him healthy than for this to be worth $17. But I just am saying that was able to snag this here, give it away to someone tonight. I mean, maybe he's able to heal up and maybe be an effective NFL quarterback at some time in his career. Now, problem is that it's a really difficult time to get hurt because there are so many good quarterbacks coming out of college. I feel like that this is going to make the path even more difficult to even getting a solid backup job. So,
Aaron, I have to interrupt you to speed you up. We're down to 24.
Oh, we are down at 24.
I believe.
And also got this Eric Brown Jr. First Bowman Orange PSA 9 Sapphire. Excited about that. All right, we're down to 24. We got to pick a card. Please drop those comments in. You'll get until, let's say, 10:05 p.m. Central Time. So drop those number 1s in the chat right now. We must just be very close to 24 left. So why don't you go ahead and, we can pick it because now some of these things are eliminated. So do you have yours picked out?
I'm going to the 1924 J. Milhoff and Co.
All right, I'm going to go with this 1930 or 1953 Parkhurst Terry Sawchuk. Probably pronounced that incorrectly, as I know I've been corrected before. But the 53, right. I know, but I think with the Canadian names, there can be some interesting pronunciations I'm not attuned on. All right, make sure you get those number 1s in and try to get that Jordan Travis. Appreciate everyone being here tonight. 97th episode. I need to be able to pick this thing. Pick the person.
Hey, Aaron, I thought we agreed for the giveaway we're doing the Chet.
yeah, that $20,000 Chet that we won tonight, right?
Yeah, and I actually on a separate note, I looked back. This is my 20th episode.
Hey, oh nice. Which one did you which card did you pick? This one?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, my card already ended, so that's fun.
You suck.
That was you, like
maybe you're harnessing your inner Julian, doing bad in the card and who am I kidding? You're not doing that.
Wait. We're talking the Chargers are making this a game? 13-10?
Did they throw for a touchdown?
Yeah. But it was the wide receiver that threw the ball.
What?
No, I'm joking.
Now I have an 8% chance of winning my fantasy game.
8% chance?
Yeah. Dude, Travis Etienne has really stunk it up the past 3 weeks.
3 years. Yeah, he did not do well today. Nice. There you go. Marino patch PSA. We gave away that one a while ago, I think. Congrats, Tom. Look at that. Get in on them giveaways and maybe get some nice sales. And then also, we missed earlier. I think that was Nick Nack said that he bought Early Holland Revolution auto, and Kevin De Bruyne said he didn't see himself buying some Manchester City cards tonight. That's the reason why I can't buy Cole Palmer cards yet. Still in that Manchester City kit.
Yeah.
Julian's I gotta close this giveaway. Julian, your card is still chilling there.
Yeah, you know it. I don't think since your card went out, any cards have gone out. It's been the same.
No, they're for sure have been. There's only like
10 cards.
Yeah, the Messi and the Holland sold.
No, I know, but these ones have been going for multiple cycles, I swear.
Mine went out in the first cycle.
Yeah. You saw.
Thanks, dude.
Oh, we got some sellers, but mine's still in it. Let's go.
I don't even care about picking the right card. I picked the right card at the end plenty of times. I need to get this.
Because it doesn't take as much skill. And so the odds are way higher. Okay, Jim Baker, let's read this. Aliens are real.
There's no point in reading this. All right, I am getting the giveaways all lined up here so we can see Julian's card go out and then give away this this Jordan Travis.
Jim, all I gotta say is stay off the weed. Gotta always channel my inner Stephen Naismith.
I think I got them all. Me thinks me got them all.
I'm still going, baby. Final 5. It's too easy.
You're still going?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, how much time? There's 23 seconds. We'll see if you get. There's 5 left.
Yeah.
Wait, you had the 1924 card?
Yeah.
Why do you pick that?
I don't know. I thought it was cool. And I thought Jim Baker might be not sorry.
Jay?
Dude, my brain is absolutely fried. But I thought yeah, Jay was gonna go for it.
All right, I'm gonna run this giveaway right now as we're waiting.
Final four.
Come on. All right.
Whoever Aaron picks, I feel really bad for. I apologize in advance.
I gotta cook this up. Carlo.
I apologize to Carlo. I'm gonna go with 14 Anthony.
Please. Tom, I should have picked you. Then you have lost, though.
Sorry, Carlo.
Tom, you said that you haven't won in forever. Tom won. Carlo got 8th.
Oh, well, there you go. Aaron only has 3 more chances.
I was really confident of that one. I thought I was going to do it. Congrats to Tom. Tom, there you go. You won. You won the Jordan Travis, and Julian's knocked out. All right. Yeah. Well, that officially ends this episode then. Congrats to Tom for winning the Jordan Travis. Please email us your identity key. Go to your preferences and send us an email, and we'll get that card transferred to you.
Tom's celebrating that Aaron didn't pick him.
Man, see, if I would have picked him, he would have won. So sorry. I mean, maybe I should stop picking people. I keep on making people not win. I hope everyone had a fun time tonight. A little bit of some heated NFL debates, some good cards ending. Covered some fun things at the start, and it is same time, same place every Sunday night, 9:45 p.m. Eastern time.
This is my motto: always bet on Jay.
True. Jay definitely goes hard for the non-sport cards at the end. So, but it's a good time. Always a good time. Happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays. And hopefully everyone had a great November. This is the last episode of November. Next week will be officially an episode in December. And we'll have a guest on here pretty soon on the episode. So look out for that coming up in the next episode or two. Hope you all had a good night. Hope you all have a great week. And we'll talk to you all next Sunday.